Welcome at a new day of a road to 2000. We're well on our way with over 1400 of rating after about a bit more than 40 games. And we started at around 900, so that's good. Only a few losses so far. And I think one draw. And we enter the Queen's Gambit accepted again. We've had this position already multiple times. And here we play knight to c3 to attack this pawn. If it goes like this, then we can simply take the pawn. And after bishop there, now we learned, because we analyzed this a few times, that the move d5 is best in this position to take these squares. And then we should start developing maybe b3 at some point. Maybe bishop goes here. Decides to attack the pawn. There's two options. Either we go back and then maybe goes here with the bishop, or we go forward, which is probably a good move. Let's do that. If takes, then we take here. Let's just do it. And we know that there is some tactic here looming, with the rook being pinned, but now the queen is protecting the square. So let's see, bishop there, and I think we can now play the move b3, right? Because this pawn is being pinned. Probably here takes, and then we take. I think we will take with the queen, or maybe bishop here. That could also be interesting to threaten to go here with our knight. Both interesting moves. Cannot take, right? Because then we take the bishop. What do we do? Maybe develop our bishop first. Maybe then a6. b3 still is a move. Let's just develop first, and then b3. Threatening here. Yeah, I think we now can just go here. Right, if takes, then the rook hangs. Let's just go here. And if takes, then we just take back, right? So this is a straightforward tactic. And you should always analyze your games, right? Because we analyzed this position already multiple times in this series. So that's good. Here we can simply take the rook, and then we can take the pawn as well. This is being protected by the bishop, so that's great. And then we attack both the queen and also the knight, so let's go. And then this pawn is weak. I think we should next just start developing. Here probably. Let's see. We should be cautious because this bishop defends this rook now, right? But I think queen here is a good move. How are you gonna defend against back rank stuff? I don't see it, to be honest. So let's go here. Let's set up the battery. And his back rank is super weak. When you move the queen, for example here, I don't know, there's check. You have to put the knight in between already. It's not looking very pleasant for my opponent. Then the queen comes in over here, attacking the knight again, and you cannot protect it another time. And yeah, if you don't move the queen, then this will simply be a pin and we pick up the queen. Let's see what my opponent Adonis Sob will do. Yeah, I think now I check. So let's calculate this, right? Check. Knight in between. I think Queen to a7 is a good move to attack knight twice. We threaten probably already some checkmate in a few moves. But then the question is there some interesting checkmating pattern for my opponent? Maybe. So what if happens someone takes here? Well, then we can take the knight with a check. The king has to move forward. Then we can take the bishop with a check. Then the king has to move forward to this square. And then this is a check. And the king cannot go anywhere. So the queen has to go back. And then we take the queen at least. And then we can develop the knight, pick up the pawns. So this is completely winning for me. So it's important, right, at these positions, just calculate, take your time. We have the time also to calculate it, but I think this should be the winning move. Well, we didn't calculate queen in between, right? Because then we simply win the queen. So we go here. And you can also take here, but that's basically the same kind of sequence of moves. Both the knight and the bishop then hang. And there's no other way for my opponent to protect the knight. My opponent decided to went for a lot of pawn moves instead of developing, right? So it's very important. So there's 3 golden rules in the opening. Get a pawn in the center of the board. We have 2. My opponent doesn't have any pawn in the center. Gave up in the opening here. Gave up the center pawn for my c pawn. Doesn't have a pawn in the center because of it. Develop your pieces. Look at these pieces. All undeveloped. Same for mine, by the way, but I have pawns in the center. And my pieces are very active. So yeah, so I think there's 2 things we can take with the rook. Then king goes here, we can pick up bishop. But then the queen is still alive, right? So I prefer to take with the queen. Then he takes back. We take with the rook. And then we pick up this bishop. And if the pawn then moves here, then we pick up this pawn. The pawn takes, then we pick it up here. And if it goes here, then my bishop is protecting it. So there's no worries because of it. So I think am I overlooking something? No. I could also think of moves like knight to f3, attacking the queen. But then he gets some play. I like to get rid of this active queen in this position. So let's just take it with the check. Well, if he doesn't take it, then we take his queen, of course. So he has to take my queen. Okay. Now, this is a Botha's gambit. We can simply pick up the queen, and we will, of course. Takes. Great. Bishop goes back. Now we feel he's a bit of in how do you say it? He's giving up everything. It's a bit tilted now. But do you see the checkmate in 1? The rook takes away these squares. The queen, the king is over here. Can we give a checkmate in 1? Taking away these squares and give a check? Yes, by going to this file, to this square. Checkmate. Thank you so much for the game, Adonis. I made one mistake according to the game analysis. Let's see what the mistake was. 92.1 accuracy and a rating of 2050. Let's see what happened here. It takes, so this is all good. d5. Yeah, this position we already had on the board multiple times in this series. Here, b4. And then knight to a4. Staying active and also having some threat on the b6 square. Bishop to b5 question mark. I think the computer liked, what did the computer like best here? To develop queen to c7 or e5 even. Okay. And I think in this position, so if you would go e6, then takes. And then this pawn is hanging, so you take here and you pick up this pawn, right? Both of us have 5 pawns now, but my pawn structure is way better. This pawn, and my opponent has 2 pawn islands, with this pawn being under attack already. and his king cannot castle, so this will be a better position for me. And if you would take like this, well, this is for sure a better position for me, but here we can simply take this pawn. And do you see the winning move in this position? Yes, queen check, attacking the king and the bishop at the same time. And the king has to go forward, cannot castle anymore. By the way, you can also play g6 as a better move and then pick up the pawn, right? With a better position for white. Okay. Not what happened. We played knight to a4 and here bishop to e3. Instead, we should have gone knight to f3. Well, not should have gone. Bishop to e3 is also a very good move. And here, the computer liked if I would just have gone back. So now the bishop, what if queen d7, knight f3 and just develop. Okay, e6, probably knight d4. And the bishop doesn't have a lot of squares. To a6, and then I think here we can already take this pawn with this bishop being weak, right? So something like this is possible for us with a very good center. Better would be, according to the computer, to just take with the rook and now take here and have a super active position. You win this pawn, you win pawns over here, likely with a lot of pressure. Okay, more the risky approach, I'd say, but that's not how it went. Bishop to, knight to b6. Winning the exchange, it gives a question mark, but okay, I like to win the exchange. And here we also win the pawn, so I think this is all very clear. And yeah, check, check, queen, and check. Thanks for the game. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.